maybe we should begin. Yeah, Sarika, shall we begin? Yeah.
Yes, please.
So thanks everybody. It's a small group, and I hope we grow from here. I am, for those who didn't know me, my name is Jackson. I founded the World Toilet Organization in 20 years ago. This year is actually our 20th anniversary. And then today I want to talk to you about the sanitation and hygiene is the first line of defense for COVID-19. So I will now share screen and show you a little bit the PowerPoint. Okay. And then so can you see my screen? Can you see my screen now?
No, it's still black, Jack.
No?
Yeah, I've got it now. Yep.
Oh, now I must learn how to share screen.
Yeah, now we can see Jack.
I can see
You
it.
can see my screen?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
good.
You
Yeah, we can see it.
You can see my screen. So
Yeah.
I will run it. So first of all, I want to explain that Catalyst 2030 is a group of social entrepreneurs from 4 sectors, from the Skoll Foundation, from Oxford University, that is Jeff Skoll. He is the founder of eBay and a big philanthropist. Then we have the Ashoka, which is the biggest social entrepreneur group in the world, and with about 3,500 fellows. Then Skoll Foundation has about maybe 100 fellows, 150 maybe. And then Ashoka about 3,005. Then we have Schwab Foundation of the World Economic Forum. This group has about almost 400 social entrepreneurs. I belong to Schwab Foundation of the World Economic Forum and Ashoka. So I'm fellow in these two. Then there's one last one called Echoing Green, which is also a very big social entrepreneur group. So we decided that if we were to want to achieve the SDG, we cannot work alone, because working alone is silo, and when we work alone, we achieve very little. But if all our ideas are already clear, then we want to work together. And working together, people have distrust and suspicion, but in Catalyst 2030, the culture changed. The culture is trust and sharing and collaboration, because when you come together, you will have a higher impact than when you are alone. And this is a no-brainer. And so we created a culture where we trust we trust each other. And of course, we expect everybody to be trusted as well, right? So here we have a COVID situation, and COVID kills around 220,000, roughly. I think the numbers is still rising, but that is the number that is killed. And so because 220,000 people has died, you have a lockdown of whole world, right? The whole world has locked down. But have you ever thought that every year 1.5 million people die of diarrhea, and there is no lockdown? Isn't that strange? So many people, 1.5 million people versus 220,000 people. Of course, every death is very sad, and should not happen. But if we are very excited and take action about a virus that kills 220,000 people, then we should equally be very, very urgent to save 1.5 million lives. And that is every year. Yeah? That means last year there's 1.5 million who died of diarrhea, and the year before, and this year. And so this is a very strange thing, right? And 2 billion people don't have access to proper sanitation. About 600 million are openly defecating, no toilets, so they're defecating on the roadside. And another 4.5 billion people, they have toilets. Some don't have toilet, so 2 billion don't have toilet, but the other 2.5 billion have toilet, but no treatment of the sewage. So what happened is you flush the toilet and the sewage go into the river and go into the drains and go into the sea on the beach. So 4.5 billion people's shit is not treated. So that is a really like more than half of human population. We have 7.7 billion people, and 4.5 billion of their shit has not undergone treatment. So there is also a 1 billion need for toilet, but there's no market and supply for it. So this is a strange problem. COVID kills 220,000 people, global lockdown. Diarrhea kills 1.5 million people every year, ignored. Yeah. So every morning people goes to the toilet on the roadside and they shit like that, and then the shit is left there. If you bring your dog to a walk and you shit, you take a plastic bag to take back your shit. No. In this case, the human excreta is left on the roadside. Then what happened is it starts to pollute the river, because when the rain comes, the rain pushes this into, please mute yourself, yeah? And the rain pushes the shit into the river, and the drinking water is contaminated by shit. So the problem is that people are drinking dirty water and then they become sick. But all the funding goes to water. And in fact, when you think about the UN agenda, for many, many years, they talk about water and sanitation, but always they talk about water. World Water Day, Water Forum, everything is about water, right? And when they talk about water, they talk about the big wastewater treatment plant, but not the small system that the poor can afford. So we have this very strange thing that people don't talk about sanitation. And the reason they don't talk about sanitation is because it is very embarrassing. So instead of funding the creation of the problem, they're going to fund the filtration of the water. So 50% of all the hospital beds in developing countries are occupied by people who are sick because of waterborne diseases. So totally preventable, but very little funding. Yeah. So prevention is cheaper than cure. So is the doctor cheaper or the soap cheaper? So of course the soap is very cheap, but when you prevent somebody from being sick, you cannot count that you have prevented it. So you can wait until the person is sick, then you go and see the doctor, then the doctor says, I have cured one person. So this is a very strange way of funding. You fund after it happened. Now you see, why are we being locked down in our houses? Because prevention is even more urgent than cure. By the time they already contracted, that is a bigger problem. So what we always must understand is people don't fund prevention because they can't count the impact of prevention. But it is really, really important that we change our mindset. Importance of washing hands. I mean, washing hands is almost like your mother told you and your grandmother told you, and it's always told, but yet 50% of people don't wash their hands after going to the toilet. And if they wash their hand, they don't wash with soap. And if they wash with soap, they didn't wash for 20 seconds. So they are very fast. They just touch it a little bit. But 1 gram of pathogen on your fingers can contain 10 million, 1 gram of shit can contain 10 million pathogens. So even if you wash, a lot of people smell their finger, is still very smelly, which means it's still not clean. So this is the microorganisms are very small, right? You have to wash until it is very thorough. And this has been suddenly accelerated that everybody start to realize that, yes, we have to wash our hands 10 times a day. But before that, they don't. So our job was accelerated by COVID, and we want that after COVID is over, they will continue to behave and continue to have the discipline of hand washing, because this is the origin of many, many diseases. Now, what happened is that shit is an agenda that has to compete with media overload. So you know that before COVID, the big agenda takes up a lot of space in the media. So when we go to social development, we realize that people start to say education and climate change, terrorism and climate change. They couldn't get any daylight unless they relate their agenda to climate change. So I think agenda are all important, and each has to have its own visibility. So shit is like right at the bottom. We go to banks, we go to sponsor, and we say, this is very important. And they told us, you know, it's very difficult for us to relate our brand with a brown issue. We like blue and green issue. So about trees, about rivers, is better for our branding. So how do we fight ourselves to get shit at the top of the agenda? This is the way. We use humor to break the taboo. The World Toilet Organization is a man bite dog story. If a dog bite a man, there's no story. A man bite a dog, it suddenly becomes story. Overnight, we were able to get hundreds of millions of media for free. And every year we continue to gather, and nowadays, after 20 years, we have every year around 2 to 3 billion outreach audience, and we spend 0 cent on media. So this is how we created the World Toilet Organization, call ourselves the WTO, play a part on the World Trade Organization, and became even more effective than the World Trade Organization. Our founding day, 19th of November, also became UN World Toilet Day eventually. So we started World Toilet Summit in Singapore, then Korea, then Taiwan, then Beijing. And Raymond Martin is inside this picture. He's the host of Belfast World Toilet Summit. And then we went to Moscow. We went to India with the President of India. We went to, and the Crown Prince of Holland came. So World Toilet Summit every year created a lot of high legitimacy with all the ministers, the royalties, the president. and we start to change. We also go to Africa. We start to change the way people think about toilet. The media gave us the power. We even changed the way the ladies' toilet has to be bigger. So the building codes of Singapore, of Hong Kong, of China has started to change, that ladies' toilet are now very big, then you don't have to queue up anymore for toilets. Then Matt Damon also came to support with his strike that he won't go to toilet unless everyone has toilet. So very funny. And President Clinton came to support us and endorse our movement. And our movement is gathering a lot of momentum. President Liberia, Sirleaf Johnson, Nobel winner, went on national television to broadcast our message. And eventually Time Magazine support us as, named us Hero of the Environment. And so in 2013, I went to the UN, lobbied everybody, and spent about 10 months together with our Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And we got our founding day named as the official UN World Toilet Day. And thereafter, forever, every year, every government in every country celebrate World Toilet Day, and sanitation start to change. So Bill Gates invested $200 million reinventing the toilet and setting standards. And then movie star, Bollywood star, Salman Khan, do fundraising with us. Prime Minister Modi now built 110 million toilets, just completed. And this is the kind of partnership and leverage that can keep on snowballing as the media continuously make it such that politicians realize that it is actually a very exciting agenda to win election. So all the Indian politicians are competing with each other, promising who is a better toilet builders. So this is happening in other countries as well. Right now in Brazil, we just had World Toilet Summit last year, and the legacy is that they are going to treat that 50% of sewage that is not treated, and they are passed a law to have PPP partnership with private investment for all their water treatment plant. So these are the kind of work. We didn't do it, we instigate people to do it. In India, we started to build World Toilet Colleges, and we have 2 World Toilet College, and we have trained 5,000 toilet cleaners to become professional and place them into job. These are people who are casual workers, don't have proper job, and we created 5,000 jobs in 2 years. So what we want to do now is to take World Toilet College and scale it up in every state of India, as well as China and Africa and Latin America. Wherever you are, please, I am asking you to come on a partnership journey with me. You host the local World Toilet College, will give you all the curriculums. We will send trainers come over, and you take over and train your own people and create jobs and create health and hygiene for the people. Do not wait for the next COVID. Just prevention is cheaper than cure, and you need professionals to do that. So this is, in India, there are people who dive into the sewer, and we are creating this World Toilet College to solve this. So I would like to now switch to another. Let me see how to, no, wait a minute. I will continue first until this finish, then I will change. So we went to promote that you don't marry your daughter to families without toilet, and it was very effective that people want wife, they have to build toilet, otherwise the wife don't want to come. Then we teach people to start toilet business, Sani shop in Cambodia. Then Jay-Z, Coldplay, organized by Global Citizen, perform on World Toilet Day in Mumbai on 2016 to 80,000 free tickets. So these are the kind of movement. All these 80,000 have pledged to volunteer to promote sanitation. So this is the way its movement grow. Movement has to grow by other people. Last year, 2 years ago, the Queen gave us the Point of Light Award, and we also have the Luxembourg Peace Prize. So in India, they start to make Bollywood movie that became blockbusters. Toilet, A Love Story, sells so well in India and China. So in China, we start to work with the president's project called Toilet Revolution, and we created Rainbow School Toilet. We raised funds to build 15 Rainbow School Toilet, aligned with the presidency's Toilet Revolution. He is personally, like Prime Minister Modi, championing the toilet movement in China now. So we are now negotiating with the Chinese government to adopt this Rainbow School Toilet for all 243,000 schools in China. The reason is that the rural school, they are using this dry toilet. It's basically a hole in the ground and all the flies are inside and there's no treatment. So once a while, people come and scoop it from the back of the drain, but now we give them flush toilet. We train the children to clean it themselves and to maintain it. Because if we ask people to clean it for them, the ownership is not there. So we have a program. Right now we develop videos and digitize all the experience and knowledge and training curriculum. Again, here, I would like to ask everybody, whoever is interested, please come to us and join us as a partner for the Rainbow School Toilet. Yeah. So we also created toilet standards and guidelines. So this is 2011. We are now setting up for the new 2020 version, and it will include COVID-19 design. Yeah. And what we did to break the taboo was by powerful storytelling using humor, we get readership that leads to politician votes, and then public policy and academia doing research, celebrity coming to increase their popularity, visibility to the donors and NGOs, social entrepreneur get donation and everyone gets toilet. So what we are hoping going forward is that going beyond sanitation, we join Catalyst 2030 and we want everybody, government, foundation, social entrepreneur, development bank, international forum, UN group, companies, university, to all become seamlessly collaborating. And when we are doing like that, it will be so much more efficient than currently where everybody is working alone. So the whole idea is that 4,000 social entrepreneur ideas are already available at Catalyst 2030. We want to integrate them, and then thousands of corporations are interested in the base of the pyramid, and we will recycle and reuse this idea for scalability. And the moment we are doing that, we cut the inefficiency. A lot of NGOs right now are running on overheads of 50 to 80% per dollar. And this is really, really expensive. A lot of them have 30 to 50% of their staff fundraising. So that is actually very, very expensive. So all resources outside are unlimited. All resources inside are limited. So we do not need to have huge number of manpower. We want to use other people money, other people volunteer time, other people expertise, and also give them the ownership of it so that everybody work together and in alignment. So this is the approach of ecosystem, and the new mindset should be much more efficient than if we were working alone and trying to be a hero. You know, when a person tries to be a hero, he also becomes the obstacle to the mission. So we think this is a big change that is happening at the Catalyst 2030. What we want now is to request for partnership. Whoever wants to scale up World Toilet College, we have all the material, all the training expertise, the system of recruiting and placing them after they are trained. We have the Rainbow School Toilet is now entering into India. We would like to have partner in Africa, in Latin America, in other ASEAN countries. Whoever is available, please join us. And then we are always looking for location to host World Toilet Summit. It's been 20 years, and every year there is a fantastic government who will host it. And if you have, please tell us. So this event is broadcast live on Facebook as well, and it's also recorded and it will be recycled. So what I want you to do is to think about this, and I will hereafter show you a short video, and then we will open for discussion. Yeah, I thank you very much here first, and I will give you a video. Today, about 2.1 billion people in the world still do not have access to proper sanitation.
Jack, sorry, the video is not sharing. Could you please?
It's not sharing. Just go on.
Yeah, we can't see. The
Oh.
screen that we can see as of now is your PowerPoint presentation. If you'll minimize it, then we can see the video.
Ah, okay. I will cancel my PowerPoint, and then I will share.
Play the yeah.
Then I will play the video. Okay. Now can you see?
Now you share.
Huh?
Otherwise, give me a minute. I can share. I can show it.
Share. Share. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now we can see.
Now you can see. All right.
Yeah.
I'll show you.
Yeah. Now you can start.
Today, about 2.1 billion people in the world still do not have access to proper sanitation. Up to 2 years ago, 600 million people in India are open defecating. There's such a job called a sewer diver, where the worker has to immerse himself full of human excreta just to clear chokage. This is a very inhumane job, and we have to solve this problem.
The mission of the World Toilet College is to provide better livelihood to the sanitation workers within the country. Until now, we have trained more than 5,000 sanitation workers in Aurangabad itself. Beckett Bentizer, being principal sponsor for the program, has consistently worked on marginalized and vulnerable in the society.
पहिल्यापासूनच चोकअपचे काम करत होते, टॉयलेट लाईनचे काम करत होते, आणि तो अचानकच गॅस आला आणि वडिलांचा मृत्यू झाला. आम्हाला धक्का बसला.
Now with the World Toilet College professional training, they are fully geared and they are working above ground with machine. So this transforms a very inhumane job into a very
dignified and professional job.
Harvard World Toilet College have a complete package of training, new technologies, equipments available in the sanitation sector, facility management training. So training these people in a housekeeping sector, give them awareness about health and hygiene practices during our workplace. It is a step to take towards a dignified livelihood. If one people can change, it will help to change the other people of the society as well as their family.
My job is to bring the government, the corporates, the NGOs, the professional trainer all together as a movement, as a model for replication all over India and in all other countries.
वर्ल्ड टॉयलेट कॉलेज में आने के बाद मुझे ट्रेनिंग दिया गया और वो ट्रेनिंग के हिसाब से मेरा चेंज अभी अच्छा है। अभी मैं महीने में कम से कम 10 से 12 हज़ार कमा लेता हूँ। पहले कुछ इतना नहीं होता था सर। अभी ये चेंज अच्छा हुआ है। अभी फैमिली भी सब अच्छी है, एकदम बच्चे भी ठीक है।
The last 20 years, I've been traveling all over the world to advocate the importance of sanitation. I am grateful that our corporate sponsor, ANA Blue Wing program, has provided me with free tickets to travel all these places and to help the people improve their quality of life.
ANA, Inspiration of Japan.
So, how? Now you can see me. Hello, everyone. We are back. So, now
Yes.
we can have some question whenever whoever wants to start. We get the first question. Lack of from Carol Steinfield. I have to have a meeting, so she has to leave. So yeah, she's basically says that the lack of excreta management is a very serious problem. Yeah. So now I invite everybody, please ask your question, unmute yourself. Please feel free. We are just
hello, Jack.
Small group. Arun, yes.
Yes, very happy to meet you after many years. What is the specific critical issue now when we are in the middle of this COVID-19 pandemic? Is there a special relevance to the problem at hand?
Currently, the important is the no touch situation. So for many years, we have been designing a toilet that you do not touch. So the only few places that you have to touch is probably the doorknob, but the main door is already, and main entrance has no door, no touch. And the COVID-19 just currently all the government are taking action about social distancing, hand washing, wearing masks, and all the discipline of not going out. But I think that what we want to do is to use this opportunity to reinforce the behavior of the people so that they will continuously behave this way. Because I remember SARS happened in 2003, and everybody was behaving themselves, and immediately after SARS in 2004, they go back to not washing their hands again. So this is a very important time for us to enforce this. Please, anybody else?
Thank you.
Speak freely. Carol?
Yes, just, hello?
Hello, Carol, yes.
Oh, this is very strange. I was working in the garden because I had a prearranged thing. Good to see you, Jack. Thank you for your wisdom. I have a question about the United States. Do you have any World Toilet College partners here in the United States? It sounds like a very good idea for us.
So Carol, where are you living? What state are you in?
Washington State.
What Washington State? No, that is Seattle.
Yep.
You're in Seattle, and it's so nice that Carol McClary is in Portland and she's right here. So let's have a conversation. Carol McClary, can you?
Actually, I might be on. Yes, because first of all, here's what is happening. When people talk about opening the economy, they talk about not opening restrooms, because restrooms have surfaces of touch, and you know, Americans have crazy ideas about restrooms. And so we have porta potties that are replacing our restrooms, where you have even more surfaces where you can have COVID-19 contagion. So first, so two points. We need to get restroom cleaning professionalized for COVID-19. So I'll be looking at your plan, and I would like to share it with officials.
Very happy. Can you tell me what are you doing? Are you an NGO or you are which?
Flush. Public hygiene lets us stay human, and we are, yeah, and we are all volunteer. And so right now, we would like people to open hand washing stations in their gardens or in their parks, because hand washing, we have, the society is opening up. The construction workers are going back to work. We are now allowed to walk and jog and bicycle. And we've learned to live without the toilets. But if we are encountering other people and things, we need the hand washing.
Okay, so please contact me and we bring the World Toilet College to Washington State. Yeah.
Oh, that would be great. Thank you.
Yeah, very good. Okay, so who else have some?
Hi, Jack. It's Raymond here. Can you hear me?
Yes, Raymond. Yes.
Jack, how do you see things like airport terminals and major train stations, whatever, dealing with the COVID thing, and obviously and beyond that, because most of them are serious congregation areas where lots of people jump into before they get on a flight, and if you're like me and very scared, you get into immediately you get off the flight, and you find these crushes and lots of queues or whatever. What do you see? How do you see that changing in the future?
I think that the transportation toilets is huge science in it, because they are so different. They are in airport, they are in bus terminals, they are in train station, and train station in London may be different train station in India. Oh, yeah. And the train station, the way the quality of the station toilet and the professionalization of cleaning and all this, we have to set standards. And we want to use the COVID-19 to remind people, if they don't spend this money and train these people, then what will happen is that they get all these illnesses, which they pay, but because they didn't count them, do the accounting, they do not realize that they are paying them. So your healthcare bill can be very big, and you can reduce your healthcare bill and take that money over this side. So the cost benefit analysis calculation has been done by World Health Organization, by Guy Hutton, and we want to share this so that government understand, because in ministry, in government, the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Transport, they're all different ministry. So we want them all to understand the one government, one-stop budgeting. Yeah. And so when you think about this congregation area, you need very safe design, easy cleaning, and then professionally trained people, and then the habit of the user has to be facilitated such that it's very convenient to keep it clean, and then ultimately the repair. Because if they don't repair it, a toilet after 7-8 years become run down, and you know the broken
I
mirror.
understand all that, Jack. I'm more concerned. Do you think we should maybe move into unisex cubicles as opposed to large congregation areas?
It's cultural. We have tested many countries. Girls doesn't like to go into male toilet. They don't like to come out of a cubicle thinking that the next door is a man. And of course, with peeping Tom and cell phone being cameras and upskirts video, I think they culturally very difficult. But in Scandinavian country, they feel fine. So it has to be a certain level of civilization before you can adopt it. But then there's the LGBT group now we have to cater for. So the multi-purpose toilet is probably the place solution. Yes. Next. Steve, you want to say something? No? Yeah.
Yeah, well, Jack, great to see you. I'm sorry I missed the first half of this. I was on another call, but I'll watch the recording. I'm just interested in your personal journey. You know, you've been at this a long time. I first met you in Sweden at Talberg, I think in 2008 or 9. And I've been at what I'm doing for a long time. I'm just curious about your, you know, how COVID has affected your resilience and that of people close to you and who are working with you. Is it something that you see as a positive, or is it something that you think has set your agenda back?
COVID is very positive. I will tell you, COVID reminds all of us that we could die anytime, and that our life is basically finite. Even if you live, you will still die. You will die at around 80, 85, maybe very lucky, 90, and even so, are you healthy? So the very important thing COVID can remind us is that we're all going to die. And so that is the reason why I'm spending all the last 20 years and the rest of my life not wanting to earn money. I've retired 20 years ago because I find that you will never run out of food to eat or a place to sleep, but you run out of time. And the meaning of your life on the last day, when you are lying on the bed, just about to go, what do you want to say to yourself? And if you want to say, I have been useful. Thanks for the opportunity to make me a useful person. I think it's quite a nice thought. Or you say, I have 2 Mercedes or some Prada shoes. I don't think you want to say that. So I think this is a very nice thing to reflect on.
I think I remember you, you gave one of the most exciting analogies about difficult or easy or hard. I think it was to do with, you know, games that people play. Do they want something that's easy and or something that's hard that they really enjoy? And COVID certainly is hard, but I agree it is an opportunity to reset so many cultural norms and institutions that, you know, all bets are off. They have to change. They're changing quickly. So thank you for your example, Jack.
Thank you. And then thanks for remember after so many years, right? Toilet is about letting go. And life is also about letting go. And before you die, you want to let go of your materialism. You want to let go of your need for looking handsome or pretty or showing off or status, these are all false pursuit. Those things, they are temporary. What is very, very important is that we do something that leaves a legacy. And it's not even important whether people remember us. It's important that we know that we were useful. I think this is a very, very wonderful thing to go away with. Thing to go away with. Yes. So, Mr. Xavier, okay, welcome.
How are you?
Yeah, thanks for coming. You want
My
to
pleasure.
ask something? You missed some of the talk, right?
Very nice to meet everyone.
Yes. So anybody has a next question, please?
Jack,
Jinkit, yes.
how can we, or how can the World Toilet Organization or partners enable women to have a bigger role? Because, you know, in a lot of places in the world, you know, women are second class.
Yeah, I think that the toilet and women is very, very important for women. You know, girls drop out of school when the school have no toilet. They cannot go to school with menstruation, changing sanitary napkin in front of the boys. So they drop out of school during that period. And if they cannot catch up with the classes, eventually they drop out altogether. And then menstrual hygiene itself is also very important because there are a lot of developing world where they are using rags that are dirty and then they use that as menstrual pad and they get infection. And they even use mud and ashes and newspaper, all kind of things. So these are the kind of problem when girls and women don't have menstrual hygiene, and the culture, sometimes we want to teach. You know, in India, the Bollywood star Akshay Kumar made a movie called Pat Man, and he explained that even talking about sanitation is like talking about menstrual hygiene is even more difficult than talking about shit, you know. And they go lock up the girls whenever they have period because it's considered taboo and bad luck. So we have to overcome all these things, and we are keeping this subject alive all the time. Because in the world of agendas and media where Kim Kardashian and Donald Trump's tweet and English Premier League and sports and whatever, shit has to have its place on the center stage. And this is the purpose of my life, is to keep this subject alive by telling the story powerfully that the media takes it. And I've been telling this story for 20 years and it's still fresh. And that is why I'm enjoying it. Every year we reach about 2 to 3 billion audience. And this is quite challenging, but it's working. So it's quite happy about that. Yes. Next question, please. James, you are from, where are you from, James? Esperida?
I'm from the Philippines. Actually, I studied in the UK, but I'm having problem with the time zone because I thought that would be at 20 or I was confused.
Sorry about that. And in the Philippines, situation is actually quite dire. The rivers are so polluted. What, do you like to do something back home?
I've got an idea for you for the Philippines.
but I'll contact you separately about that. My brother lives in Manila. He's in financial services, but he's currently stranded in Singapore.
Ah, I'm in Singapore.
Yeah, I know that you're. I've already spoken to him about you, but I'll message you independently on that, Jack.
I will type my email address here so everybody can contact me at the chat here, so you can see, right? Yeah, you can just take this email. And Rebecca, what do you do?
I have a building company in Cambridge, in England, but I'm very interested in toilets because I'm promoting the Japanese toilet. I think we spoke about 2 months ago, 3 months ago. I met you at Skoll. Oh gosh, back in 2012 or 13, I think, when you were there.
Yeah.
So I'm very interested in future proofing, so helping people as they get older to stay in their homes. And Japanese toilets is one way that they can do that because there's no contact with the bidet toilets.
You should. Sorry.
I'm interested to see you had Japanese Airlines. Was it a sponsor at the end of the film?
They pay for all my air tickets, so I can go everywhere. I can come see you and meet Martin.
The Japanese, they lead the way in the technology for the toilets, I think.
Yes, yes, they are the world leader, and basically, you can already start talking to Raymond Martin, and he's
hello.
Hi, Rebecca.
British Toilet Association. You know, everybody should freely contact each other, and Carol McCrary in Portland can be also exchanging. So I think these are the way we can grow. And whatever we do, we just tell everybody and share, you know. Yes. So Tare, where are you from, Tare? Or Tera? Tera. Tera is not unmute. And Thorsten. Yes.
Hi, I'm Tara. I'm from Portugal.
Portugal.
And, yeah, I'm working with Laura. It's a Give a Shit project. It's a project we're working with sanitation and sustainability, and we make a little project with intervention in the toilets, in the public toilets. And I'm here just for listen and know more about you and about your about the organization, because it's the more important thing in our work is that Laura can stay here because I'm here for her.
Okay. So
yeah.
So I think if you want to contact anybody, I think everybody here has registered. So there is some contacts. If you allow, we can make introduction. Yeah. So this is important that everybody continues to be in an ecosystem, right?
Yeah. Whereabouts are you based, Raymond?
I'm based over in Northern Ireland, but I travel every 2 weeks, Rebecca, over to the UK. I'm in London and Manchester. Well, obviously not now because of COVID, but
yeah,
I travel quite extensively. I do a lot of work with the charities, Crohn's Colitis, IBS, Bladder and Bowel, National Federation for the Blind, the Ostomy Association. But I also do a lot of work with councils up and down the country, going and looking at all the toilets. So I'm through any part of the country, Rebecca, on a regular basis.
I'm trying to find you on LinkedIn, but I can't find you yet.
I should be there. Raymond Martin.
Yeah, okay. Is there is an organization?
The British Toilet Association.
That's okay.
BTA, yeah.
Okay, I'll find you.
That'd be great, Rebecca. Please give us a call. Let's have a chat. That'd be
Fabulous.
fantastic.
Fabulous.
It's called
yeah.
Brit. So
Brit Lose.
Raymond,
No, it's not called Brit Lose anymore, Jack. It's called the BTA. There's too many parts of the country like Scotland and Wales who are not keen on Brits. And Ireland never was very keen on them. So we changed it to BTA. It's not just to keep ourselves.
Raymond was a host of the World Toilet Summit in 2005 in Belfast. Yes.
Yeah.
So I would like to say thank you to everybody, and whoever would like to work with us, please just contact me through the email, and whoever is listening on Facebook on tape recording, please also join the Catalyst 2030. We are an ecosystem. Thank you very much. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. Great to see you.
Thank you, Jack. Nice to meet you all.
Nice
Bye-bye.
to meet you.
Bye.
Bye.
Good
Bye-bye,
night.
Jack.